Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Heartfelt from my mom, CZT Cherie Hartwick. This is extra special because, number one, because it's a tangle of my mom's, and I think this is the first one that she created, and we were also happy to premiere it today. She did it a number of years ago. And then thought, oh, well, let's bring this out for Valentine's Day this year. So it was really fun premiering this today. And if you're subscribed to the channel, to the YouTube channel, when I get the replays for the classes done and uploaded, you will get notification of them. And then you'll be able to kind of play along with us as if you were there. And if you'd like to join in the future, would love to have you. Information is on my website, where to connect, all of that kind of thing. All right, so this one starts off with a series of, we're calling them double curved lines, C-shaped curved lines, or you could call it an M, or you could call it a 3, whichever way you want to look at it. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to separate these, however far you want. You want to have a little separation, as you can see from it, but that part's up to you, and it's just how much fun do you want to have. All right, I'm going to, I think I might do it differently this time and start at the top. Ooh, and well, no, I was gonna do this diagonal, and I'm not. I'm gonna do this straight because I think that will help me. All right, and then I'm gonna start at the bottom. This is the way that I seem to work, so I'm just gonna do it. All right. And I'm going to draw this little M bigger than I think I should, because that also seems to help. As you play with this, you will see. And all right. And they don't even have to be evenly spaced. Okay, so the next step is we're going to do a curved line. We're going to come off of the right side of this M. And I'm going to utilize the takeoff and land concept, which means I'm going to trace over just a little part of it, and then I'm going to make a big S shape. The S shape has to, when we do it to the next time, we have to have it curve around the M, and then we're going to come back and land on the mark that we just make, on the line that we just make. I mean, this one though we're not going to, because for me it's going to run off the oh, there we go. It's going to run off the page. Okay, and so here we go again, like so, and then this one, I don't have a lot of room there, but that's okay, and there we have it. Then, and you'll play with, how wide, how big the initial M's are, how far apart. That is all, of course, completely up to you. Next thing is we're going to finish off this heart. Like so. Then, and this is, I need to maybe not think about it so much. This is the tricky part for me. And I'm going to air draw, because what we're going to do is we're going to put the kind of start off with an M again. That's going to start a heart that's tucking under this. And I know, we'll see. Well, I'm going to draw more of a straight line here, and then we can close this off. I know that we were talking about that on our call, and I didn't quite get the hang of that, so we'll just see. And then the other thing, there we go, that I needed to do, I kept drawing these too small. It's still a little bit small, but that's okay. At least it looks like a heart. What I was doing almost was looking like it could be a cat or a bunny rabbit or something. Okay, and then we're going to do another one here, and this, however long you do this, you would just continue it. Let's see if I'll get my hands on here right. And we'll bring that in like that. Okay. Then, for a minute, that was, hold on one second. It was looking a little blurry. Let me fix. There we go. Okay. All right. Then, looking at my stuff. Okay. This part here we also modified, so being that you're watching the video, you will see this. I'm gonna modify my step out, or at least put an or in there or something. I'm not sure which. And actually, I might not get to that right away, but since you're watching, you will know. In this, and let me explain. In the step out, what we have is where you're coming kind of off of here. You pull away. We're just doing a curved line. You pull away. We're going to trace over this part of the top of the heart, and then in the step out, we have you coming down to this this corner. Now you can do that if you want to, but what we found as we were on the Tangle time today is like, no, we kind of like doing it this way. We're going to close off the heart like so, and this creates this wide thing. And then, well, actually we had some other thoughts, but we're going to stick with what the original pattern was. And then this way you can come off of the heart and come up wherever you want to land. One thing that, and I hadn't done it, and I'll show you my samples. What I did, we were talking about, you could come and go all the way around and aura, the top part of the heart and land there. A lot of this is play, just like a lot of tangles. And so we were finding all kinds of ways to play with this. And so you will enjoy the replay if you watch it. All right, then we're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to close off this heart, little cute hearts. All right, and then like this. Okay. So like I said, it's a little bit different, but you know what? That's then the step out, but it's okay. In the links, the for more inspiration is where I have, and I have trouble saying where I have Cherie's, because it's hard to say that. So I'm just going to say Mom. You can call her Mom too. She's okay with that. Where I have Mom's step out and also a sample of what she did, and that way you can see and get other creative ideas. Now from here is really, this is the tangle. In the step out, the last two bits are really the decorating part. But we keep it as part of the step out because it gives you an idea of what you can do. And so I'm going to go ahead and we'll do those two things. One is we're going to aura these hearts. So I'm going to start here. Now this piece that we just did is kind of like a fold over. So what we're going to do is when we aura this heart, we're going to aura it, but coming off of this curved line. So if you think of it in the hollowbow fashion, it's as if, the rest of the heart is down here. As if, but we're not necessarily drawing it like you would typically use the hollowbow technique. Okay, so there's those two, and then these. And turned out a little bit wonky, but that's our whimsical. Excuse me, that's our term for wonky, is whimsical. Now, as you're doing this, let me offer a suggestion. When you have something like this that happens, then and you're like, oh, I don't really like that. Now, what can I do to fix it? This is where we start thinking course corrections and where to go, with decorating. So I always take those things first and see what can I do. The next step that we have in our step out though is, I'm just going to follow what we have. We're going to draw some straight lines, kind of auraing. I'm just going to come out of that same. We'll just do 2 lines coming down. But you can decorate these however you want. We had people doing orbs in them. I did some lines sideways. I'll show you again what I had done. But this is essentially it. It really is. And you know what? Let's do this. One piece of decorating that's actually kind of fun. Not that it'll disguise this all too much, but I'm just going to put some straight lines. Oops, it helps if I get up to the top. And sometimes things even like this, you don't notice if something is a little bit weird. And you know what? It's Zentangle. It's hand drawn. We're not using stencils. We're not using any guide. It's just freehand. So, I don't know. Everybody that I know everybody should always be impressed by the work that we do, and we should be impressed with ourselves. All right, so I'm just drawing some lines just because I feel like it needs to have something. And then, well, I'll show you some shading ideas and then the samples. Oh, see, that looks neat. Oh, sorry, gosh, the self-adjusting camera. Oh. Okay, so here's some thoughts for shading. Number one, we'll take a look at this. I'm going to do it differently than I did it, just because I have these lines. So I'm putting some graphite at the top where they all gather, and then I'm going to put some here where they kind of like tuck under. And I also want to make sure, no, I'm not missing a step. It's like I feel like I was missing a step because we're playing so much with it. Earlier, it just feels like it. All right, then I'm going to take the tortillon and I'm just spreading it down just to get a nice little gradient, and then moving this up. And let's see what that looks like in the camera. Ooh, it looks neat. Oh, I like it. Okay, then, because this heart, as we mentioned, is kind of tucked under this, we're going to put some darker graphite on the outside of that, or on the inside of the heart. I guess you could think of it either way, on the outside of this line here. And like I said, I'm going a little bit darker than I did here. And I'm going to spread this out just a little bit. And I'm just doing little circles. Oh, that's so cool. Sorry, it just never gets old. Oh, and you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. One other thing. Let's put a little graphite on the tops of these hearts. So that's, like I said, it never gets old. All of a sudden, now it is 3D because we pushed these down below this with that little bit of dark graphite right there. And let's just see if we can. Oh yeah, that adds a little something. Adds a little bit of depth, you know, to that center. We can do that on these two. I'm using just what's left on my tortillon. The lines themselves kind of shade, but sometimes it's neat to. I'm just going to put a little bit in the tip. Like I said, I'm just using what's left over, and sometimes you do that, and then it's like, well, I'm just going to pick some up here, pick some up where it's extra dark, and almost like a palette of paint. Oh, that's so neat. Okay, and so that is Heartfelt. Okay, so as I mentioned, you know, we were playing with this on the class. This one is not completely done, but I do want to share. So on here, I decided to do lines going the opposite direction, and it looks kind of neat. And then this is a gray tile, as you can see a little bit of the difference. I did shading because it was a little bit wider, but I decided to do shading on either side, and then because it's gray, I can use the white charcoal pencil, and I did that up in the center just to kind of highlight that, and it really makes it pop out. I did the same thing here with the dark, with the graphite, and I was just playing with coloring. And this one I decided to take a little offshoot because I wanted to fill this area, and but like I said, this one is in the works, but I wanted to share it. Just because it looks neat with the lines going the opposite direction. Okay, then, now this one, I think I'm calling it done. I've kind of tickled myself with that one. It got really busy, and the same idea as the first one. You know, I drew a string that was kind of wiggly, and that's so you can see now that you know how it works, right? So this was my initial string. I did the border in that, so that made it a little bit of a challenge because then I put those initial M's, and I aimed to have the M on the line, and some places I missed a little bit, but you know, which is all okay. But it's an extra little bit of a challenge. And let's see, I want to put it this way, that way you can see fully. And well, I put orbs in the in this part here We started calling it a ribbon because it kind of looked like a ribbon. And similar, I did graphite on either side, and then the white charcoal down the center, which just gives it an extra shine, and oh my gosh, just makes it pop off the page. It looks like it's something I stuck on there. I'm still marveling at this. It's just amazing. And then same thing with the graphite on the outside to lower that down. It also raises that up. And on this side, I kind of did opposite, where because I was using red and black, red, black, and white, we'll say. And I did a little opposite, and had some extra fun course correcting. I'm not going to tell you where or what. That's my secret. but I had a lot of fun with that, and I think it turned out pretty good. Then we added some fancy fescues to it. And my original border, because like I said, I did the four corners and a border, and I had it going, both in and out. And so I used the white charcoal along the border, which was originally a pencil line. And I was like, well, I'll just put it right over it and then spread it out a little bit. And so I thought it looked kind of neat. So those are my two samples for you. I hope you enjoyed this this tangle. We had a lot of fun playing with it, and and it was just, like I said, lots of fun. So if you enjoyed this, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate any and all of those three things, and would love to have you join us sometime on a Tangle Time on Thursday. I do other classes throughout the month, but that's a weekly class. That is also free. I do some that are paid. They're a little bit more specific. So, but you can follow me, and you'll see those classes. I give the places that I have them listed. Pretty much Facebook, Eventbrite, Meetup.com if you're on there. And I think that's it. I'll probably start putting them on Instagram also. I just thought of that. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and have fun with it, and I wish you happy tangling.